Welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about United States of America in the book of Daniel, which sounds incredible, but let's see the evidence. First of all, why the United States? First, number one is a world military power. In the book of Daniel, it talks about world military powers like the Babylonians, the Medo-Persas, the Greeks, the Romans. Two, the United States support for the people of God. The United States supports in Israel. And some people might say, well, Christians are the people of God and no the people of Israel. Okay, still, the United States supports Christians. So we can get away from this one. Three is a world-class Navy power. We will see why this plays a big factor. Number four is a wealthy nation. I'm going to show when the United States is going to be attacked by the Antichrist. For that, bear with me. I'm going to show you some dates. In the American Standard Version, Book of Daniel, chapter 8, verse 14 says, "And he said unto me, unto 2,300 evenings and mornings, then shall the sanctuary be cleansed." Actually, if you go and find a parallel, something that translates between Hebrew and English, the word is justice. Justify will be a better translation. So after 2,300 days, the temple or the sanctuary is going to be justified. But as we go by the rule day by year, it's taking 2,300 years. Obviously, it's referring to the third temple. And it's not asking or giving a command to build the temple. Seems like the temple is already built, and on this day it's going to be justified. It's going to be a reason why. So if we add the year 23 in which Jesus died plus 2,300 years, we got to the year 2,333. But why the year 33? Let's see. In the American Standard Version, book of Matthew, chapter 23, verse 37, 38, and 39 says, "O Jerusalem, Jerusalem, that killest the prophets and stoned them that are sent unto her, how often would I have gathered thy children together, even as hen gathered her chickens under her wings, and ye will not. Behold, your house is left unto you desolate. For I say unto you, ye shall not see me henceforth, till you shall say, Blessed is he that comes in the name of the Lord." Here we see that the temple is related to the coming of Jesus. Now it makes sense when we see that in the year 33, when he spoke these words, plus 2,300 years, we got the year 2,333. So is that the year that Jesus is coming back? Probably. Jesus said that nobody knows the day or the hour, but he didn't say anything about the year. In this year, the temple is going to be justified. So that year is probably when he's going to come back. To understand this period of time, we need to see the seals. For 2,300 years, the church, represented by a man sitting on a white horse, is going to preach the gospel. For 2,300 years, it's going to be a red horse. It's going to be a lot of wars. For 2300 years, it's going to be poverty, which means the black horse. For 2300 years, the people under the altar is told to wait until the older saints the number of saints is complete. So we still have some way to go. Now, Jesus gives a clue. In the book of Mark, chapter 13, I'm talking about American Standard Version, verse 30, he says, "Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away until all these things be accomplished." Be aware that he's talking about all the troubles, everything that's going to happen, wars, famines, earthquakes. All these tribulations are going to be witnessed by one generation. Some people think that it's talking about the people who is listening Jesus, but that people is already gone. They died thousands of years ago. But it's talking about the people who will see all this, the last days. Now, when he says generation, a generation lasts 70 years. We can see this in the book of Psalms. In the book of Psalms, Moses says, a man lasts 70 years, 80 the strongest. Okay, so if to the year 2333 we subtract 70 years, in the year 2263 is going to be the first trumpet. It's when the tribulation is going to start. So the tribulation is going to last 70 years. So the trumpets are going to sound. The first, the second, the third, the fourth trumpet. But it is the fifth trumpet that it is very interesting. I'm going to read it to you. American Standard Version, Book of Revelation, chapter 9, verse 1. "And the fifth angel sounded the fifth trumpet. And I saw a star from heaven falling onto the earth. And there was given to him the key of the pit of the abyss." Verse 11. "They have order over them as king the angel of the abyss. His name in Hebrew is Abaddon, and in the Greek tongue he has the name Apollyon." Verse 12. "The first woe is past, behold, there come yet two woes hereafter." Abaddon or Apollyon is in the book of Daniel. Let's see. American Standard Version, Book of Daniel, chapter 11, verse 7. "But out of the shoot from her roots shall one stand up in his place, who shall come unto the army, and shall enter into the fortress of the king of the north, and shall deal against them, and shall prevail." This is the king of the south. Apparently, it's going to be Muslim, or it's going to be Arab, and it's going to attack Europe. And when attack Europe, that's going to be the end of the Catholic Church. This is prophesied when the Apostle Paul says that whoever has to be removed, so the Antichrist will show. Let's go back. We'll see this in Daniel. Let's go back to the Bible. American Standard Version, Book of Daniel, verse 11. Book of Daniel, chapter 11, verse 8. And also their gods, with their molten images, with their godly vessels of silver and of gold, shall he carry captive into Egypt. And he shall refrain some years from the king of the north. So he's going to take all the treasures of the Catholic Church. That will be the end of the Catholic Church. Also, the end of the Catholic Church is prophesied in the book of Revelation. Let's go and see it. American Standard Version, book of Revelation, chapter 2, verse 18. And to the angel of the church of Thyatira write, this thing says the Son of God, who has his eyes like a flame of fire, and his feet are like unto burnished brass. Be aware, it's Jesus Christ who is talking here. Verse 20. But I have this against thee, that thou sufferest the woman Jezebel. Here is talking about the Catholic Church, who called herself a prophetess. The Catholic Church says to be the mother of the church. And she teaches and seduces my servants to commit fornication. Commit fornication can also be translated to idolatry. And this is very obvious. And to eat things sacrificed to idols. So Jesus here is telling that the sins of the Catholic Church the sins of the Catholic Church are that idolatry, and they offer the wine and the bread to the cross or to the whatever symbol they have, and after they offer that to these images, they give it to eat to the people. It's called Holy Communion. Now, this is a sin. You cannot offer the wine or the bread to the cross or the or whatever image, and then after offering to give it to the people. That's a sin. And here is Jesus is willing to forgive the Catholic Church, which is amazing. Verse 21, and I gave her time that she should repent, and she will not repent of her fornication. This is amazing. Jesus is not asking to attack the Catholics, to destroy their economies, to kill the presidents, to send death squads to kill people. Nothing of that. Jesus is willing to forgive. Nevertheless, let's see what happened next. 22, behold, I cast her into a bed, and then that they commit adultery with her into great tribulation, except they repent of her works. Here is prophesying the end of the Catholic Church. Verse 23, and I will kill her children with death, and all the churches shall know that I am he that searches the reins and hearts, and I will give unto each one of you according to your works. I will kill her children with death refers, once the Catholic Church is over, it's going to be a vacuum. A new group of people is going to try to make a new religion. Out of this new group of people, the Antichrist is going to show. Let's see, American Standard Version, Book of Daniel, chapter 11, verse 21. And in his place shall stand up a contemptible person, this is the Antichrist, to whom they had not given the honor of the kingdom, but he shall come in time of security, and shall obtain the kingdom by flatteries. Verse 22. And the overwhelming forces shall be overwhelmed from before him, and shall be broken, yea, also the prince of the covenant. Verse 23, and after the league made with him, he shall work deceitfully, for he shall come up and shall become strong with a small people. The king of the north, the Antichrist, is going to be the king of a very tiny country. This is Rome. But who is the Antichrist? The Antichrist is the king of the north. Is called the false prophet in the book of Revelation. Is a leader of a European federation on the last days. Is the king of a small country, also called small horn. Is called also the son of perdition. Here it is, American Standard Version, Book of Daniel, verse 11. Chapter 11, verse 24. In time of security shall he come even upon the fattest places of the province. This is United States. And he shall do that which his father have not done, nor his father's father. He shall scatter among them prey and spoil and sustenance. Yeah, he shall devise his devices against the strongholds, even for a time. Fattest place of the province, referring to North America. And that's including United States. Why does he attack? Doesn't say. That's it's a big, some kind of deep discussion, but that's going to be 7 years, approximately 7 years before the year 2333. But it's going to be in the year 2326, North America will surrender to the Antichrist. And it's going to be economical problems. People, there is it's going to impose a new system, an economic system. People, it's going to start putting the number 66 on people. Nevertheless, in this year, it's not going to start persecuting Christians. Be aware that the Antichrist, he thinks he's God, so he doesn't care about Buddha, Holy Krishna, about Jesus, about God himself. He doesn't know nothing about it, or he doesn't care. So he creates an economic system that's going to last 7 years. And after he attacks the king, after he attacks the United States, he's going to attack the king of the South. We see this on Daniel. Let's go back. American Standard Version, Book of Daniel, chapter 11, verse 25. And he shall stir up his power and his courage against the kings of the South with a great army. And the king of the South shall war in battle with an exceeding great and mighty army. But he shall not stand, for they shall devise devices against him. This time, the king of the North is going to succeed. It has all the military power that the United States and Canada probably. It's going to take all the economy, all the military power, and it's going to attack the king of the South. And it's going to succeed. After 3.5 years later, something is going to happen. American Standard Version, Book of Revelation, chapter 9, verse 13. And the sixth angel sounded, and I hear a voice from the horns of the golden star which is before God. Verse 14. One saying to the sixth angel that has the trumpet, loose the 4 angels that are bound at the great river Euphrates. An army from what is called now Iraq is preparing to attack the Antichrist. Verse 15. And the 4 angels were loosed that had been prepared for the hour and day and months and year, that they should kill the third part of men. When he says the kill third part of men, is referring to the army of the Antichrist. And the number of the armies of the horsemen was twice 10,000 times 10,000. I hear the number of them. That's about 200 million people, 200 million soldiers that are going to attack the army of the Antichrist, the army of Europe. It's going to be a devastation. Verse 18, by these 3 plagues was the third part of men killed by the fire and the smoke and the brimstone which proceed out of their mouths. It's going to be attacked with the bombs or with guns, something like that. But again, it's saying that it's the third part of men killed. It's not that the whole world. It's just the army of the Antichrist. And we see in the next verse, verse 20, and the rest of mankind, this is telling me that the attack from the soldiers of Iraq is not going to be to the whole world. It's just going to attack the army of the Antichrist. Again, we see that God chooses the Muslims to attack the Antichrist. I'll keep on reading. Who were not killed with these plagues, repenting not of the work of their hands, that they should not worship demons and the idols of gold and of silver and of brass and of stones and of wood, which can neither see nor hear nor walk. Verse 21, and they repented not of their murders, nor of their sorceries, nor of their fornication, nor of their theft. The whole world are going to know about Jesus Christ, about the gospel. It's going to reject the gospel. Totally reject the gospel. Therefore, God has no choice but to destroy these people. But we can see this also in the book of Daniel, American Standard Version, book of Daniel, chapter 11, verse 29. At the time appointed he shall return and come into the south, but it shall not be in the latter time as it was in the former. At the appointed time refers 3.5 years after the fall of North America. But because they pretty much destroyed the army of the south, he's going back to the south. For ships of Kittim shall come against him, therefore he shall be grieved. On the west is going to be attacked by a navy. This navy, what it says, ships of Kittim, Kittim can be translated as islands, can be translated as the west. It doesn't refer to the islands in the Mediterranean Sea. It's referring to the islands of America, what is called now all those islands from Cuba, all those Puerto Rico, Jamaica. On those islands, a group of ships, shall I say, it's going to be some rebels, some American rebels that didn't accept the fall of America. This navy these are really rebels, and they're poison. They want to take revenge, and they attack the Antichrist. So the Antichrist is attacked on the west by the American rebels, and on the east by the Iraqi forces. And they kill one third of the army. Now it makes sense that what it says later. For ships of Kittim shall come against him, and therefore he shall be grieved, and shall return, and have indignation against the holy covenant, and shall do his pleasure. He shall even return and give regard unto them that forsake the holy covenant. The Antichrist is going to be sad. It's going to be terrible. He's going to be terrible because he has lost a third of his army. But if you have seen my videos before, he has an artificial intelligence called the image of the beast, and the image of the beast, comes to the conclusion that the only reason they failed, the only reason that this army succeeded is because God allowed it. Therefore, now the Antichrist has a reason to attack the Christians. For the next 3.5 years, he's taking revenge. For the next 3.5 years, he's going to be cursing God and cursing heaven. For that, he's going to send his army to Jerusalem, and he's going to stop the sacrifices on the temple right away. For the next 3.5 years, he is not going to allow sacrifices on the temple. He's going to go there, sit in the temple, and he's going to say that he is God. Whoever sees the armies of the Antichrist surrounding Jerusalem, he has to flee. He has to run away from Jerusalem. He has to go away. This is. But let's go back. Let's go back and let's see what happened. American Standard Version, Book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 23. This he says, the fourth beast shall be a fourth kingdom upon earth, which shall be diverse from all the kingdoms, and shall devour the whole earth, and shall tread it down and break it in pieces. It's talking about Europe, 10 European countries. Verse 24. And as for the 10 horns, out of this kingdom shall 10 kings arise. And another shall arise after them, and he shall be diverse from the foremost, and he shall put down 3 kings. Verse 25. And he shall speak words against the Most High, and shall wear out the saints. He's going to attack the saints. When he says saints, it refers to the Christians of the Most High. And he shall think to change the times and the law, and they shall be given unto his hands until a time and times and half a time. This means 3.5 years the Christians are going to be given to the Antichrist, and he's going to totally obliterate Christians. Be aware, the Antichrist at this moment is not against Jewish, it's not against Israel, it's against Christians. And in that moment is when the Jewish are going to realize that they are dealing with the Antichrist. This is called the 11th hour. When Jesus says that there is 10 virgins and all of them fall asleep, when they say fall asleep, it means the whole church is going to be dead. That's going to happen on the 11th hour, on the last moment. Let's go back. American Standard Version, Book of Daniel, verse 9, verse 27. And he shall make a firm covenant with many for 1 week. This is, I'm talking here that the covenant is, business is going to be it's going to be done using the number 666. And in the midst of the week, he shall cause the sacrifice and the oblation to cease. In the midst of the week, meaning 3.5 years later, the Antichrist is defeated by the Iraqi army, and he takes revenge against the Christians and immediately surrounds Jerusalem and stops the sacrifice. Let's keep on reading. And upon the wings of abomination shall come one that maketh desolate, and even unto the full end, and that determined shall wrath be poured out upon the desolate. Some of the Jews that are going to run away from Israel and from Jerusalem are the 144,000. They will go to what is called now Jordan. In the Bible is called Edom. It's called, we'll see it later. Let's go back. American Standard Version, Book of Daniel, verse 11. Chapter 11, verse 40. And at the time of the end, here is talking after 7 years after the church is gone, shall the king of the south contend with him, and the king of the north shall come against him like a whirlwind, with chariots, with horsemen, and with many ships. And he shall enter into the countries, and shall overflow and pass through. What he says with many ships is going to be a battle on the ocean, on the sea. It's going to be the American rebels against the navy of the Antichrist. Verse 41, and he shall enter also into the glorious land. The Antichrist and his army is going to be on Israel. And the reason is, it's going to be impossible to be in Europe. Europe is going to be burned. It's going to be on fire. It's going to be destroyed. And he's literally running away with all his army. And he goes to Israel. And many countries shall be overthrown, but these shall be delivered out of his hands, Edom and Moab and the chief of the children of Ammon. On these countries, there is Edom, Moab, and Ammon, 144,000 Jews are going to be waiting. It's going to be white horses. It's going to be waiting for the coming of Jesus Christ. Verse 42, he shall stretch forth his hand also upon the countries, and the land of Egypt shall not escape. This time it's going to attack Egypt. 43, but he shall have power over the treasures of gold and of silver, and over all the precious things of Egypt, and the Libyans and the Ethiopians shall be at his steps. Verse 44, but tidings out of the east. He's going to hear news of the east. The news is that the Euphrates rivers is going to dry, and the armies, or whatever is left from the armies of China, Japan, Indochina, India, Persia, all those armies in Iraq are coming to attack the Antichrist. Verse 45, and he shall plant the tents of his palace, and he shall go forth with great fury to destroy and utterly sweep away many. He is going to be attacking, killing people left and right. He's going to be attacking mostly Muslims. It's going to be, but let me repeat this. In the verse 44, where it says, tidings out of the east and out of the north shall trouble him, is because it's not just India. Armies from Russia will come to attack also the Antichrist. Verse 45, and he shall plant the tents of his palace between the sea and the glorious holy mountain. Yet he shall come to his end, and none shall help him. What's going to happen is Jesus, he is going to come back. Everybody's going to see it. But the out of the mouth of the Antichrist, of the beast, and of the Satan, is going to come some bad spirits. And these spirits are going to be in front of people. It's going to tell them that the Antichrist is Jesus himself, and they need to fight for the Antichrist, because the Antichrist is Jesus. So it's going to be deceived. Everybody's going to be deceived, thinking that the Antichrist is Jesus Christ. And they're going to be ready and they surround Israel. All these armies that were fighting the Antichrist are going to surround Jerusalem, ready to destroy the city. In that moment, Jesus comes down from heaven. It's going to touch the Mount of Olives. It's going to split apart, and some people from Jerusalem is going to escape. In that moment, 144,000 Jewish selected are going to join Jesus to attack. This is called Armageddon. They're going to start killing all the nations, literally. It's going to wipe up probably the whole world. And this is the end of the Antichrist. Of course, this needs more explanation, but thank you for listening. Have a nice day.